Daniel wasn't nervous when he walked into that hotel room, he was already done. Yeah, I know, that sounds wild, because if you watched the way TLC edited this storyline, you'd think he was all in, heart first, ready to risk everything for love. But the energy in that moment? It shifted so fast you could practically hear the 90-day dream crack in real time. And the craziest part? Most viewers completely missed it.
Because on the surface, this looked like another classic 90-day fiancé setup, emotional airport reunion, nervous smiles, that slightly awkward first hug we've all learned to analyze frame by frame. Daniel was saying all the right things. He looked invested, he sounded invested, he even told producers he was ready for the next chapter. But here's the part TLC cameras didn't show, the body language was already telling a different story. Go back and watch that pre-hotel scene carefully. His shoulders were tight, his smile didn't reach his eyes. And when she started talking about their future timeline, Daniel didn't lean in, he leaned back. I know what you're thinking, but listen to this. According to screenshots that started circulating on the 90-Day Fiancé subreddit just hours after the episode aired, fans caught something production clearly hoped would fly under the radar. In the background of one scene, blink and you miss it, Daniel checks his phone and his entire expression drops. Not nervous, not excited, dropped. That was the first red flag. And if you're deep in this franchise like we are, you already know, nothing good ever follows that look. Now fast forward to the hotel room. This is where the 90-day dream quietly fell apart. Because up until that moment, Daniel had been playing the part perfectly. Supportive fiancé, patient partner, the guy willing to navigate the emotional rollercoaster of the K-1 visa process, which, let's be real, is basically a pressure cooker designed to expose every crack in a relationship. But the second that door closed behind them, everything changed. Watch the footage again. The silence was heavy, not the cute, nervous kind of silence. The uncomfortable, something is off kind. She's trying to keep the mood light, making little jokes, moving around the room with that hopeful energy we've seen so many times in this franchise. And Daniel, he freezes, not dramatically, not in a way casual viewers would immediately clock, but enough that longtime fans felt it instantly. His responses got shorter, his eye contact started breaking, and when she moved closer, and this is the moment that lit up Twitter, X, he physically shifted his body away. Subtle, but loud. Within minutes of the episode airing, the fandom split right down the middle. One side was saying, he's just overwhelmed. Give the guy a minute. The other side, oh, they were not buying it. Because here's what started bubbling up online. An Instagram T account dropped a blind item claiming Daniel had been expressing doubts to friends weeks before filming that hotel scene. Not on camera, not in confessionals, off-record conversations that, conveniently, never made it into the final edit. Coincidence? Maybe. But then Reddit detectives did what Reddit detectives always do, they went full forensic mode. Screenshots surfaced. Timeline comparisons started. Fans noticed that in earlier episodes, Daniel kept talking about taking things slow. But in the hotel room scene, she was clearly operating under the assumption they were fully aligned and moving forward fast. That disconnect didn't just appear overnight. It had been building, and here's where things get really uncomfortable. Because emotionally, you can see she was all in, fully invested, already picturing life after the 90 days. Meanwhile, Daniel's energy was giving hesitation. Not panic, not fear, hesitation. There's a huge difference. Fear says, I'm overwhelmed but I want this. Hesitation says, I'm not sure I ever did. And if you watch closely, really closely, the moment she starts talking about their future living situation, Daniel does something that longtime viewers instantly recognized as a classic 90-day warning sign. He laughs. Not a warm laugh. Not a loving laugh. That nervous, buying time laugh we've seen from cast members right before everything implodes. I know what you're thinking. Maybe he was just tired. Maybe the travel got to him. Maybe production chopped the scene to make it look worse than it was. But listen to this. A fan who claims they were staying at the same hotel posted on Reddit that the couple's energy off camera was noticeably tense that night. Now, take that with a grain of salt, this is the internet, after all, but the timing of that post lining up with the episode airing. That's what made people start connecting dots. And once fans start connecting dots in this franchise, it's over. Twitter, X, turned into a battlefield. Some viewers defended Daniel hard, saying the pressure of the K1 visa timeline would make anyone shut down emotionally. Others were far less forgiving, accusing him of emotionally checking out long before the cameras caught up. But the most telling reactions came from the veteran 90-day watchers, the ones who've seen every awkward airport reunion, every doomed hotel night, every slow-motion relationship collapse this franchise has delivered. Their verdict: this felt familiar, and not in a good way. Because we've seen this pattern before. The partner who looks committed during the long-distance phase, then pulls back the moment things become real in the same physical space. And the hotel room is always the turning point. Always. What makes Daniel's situation hit differently, though, is how convincingly he sold the dream leading up to this moment. There were no massive blow-ups. No obvious screaming matches. No giant red flags waving in the wind. Just quiet emotional drift. The kind that's way more dangerous. Because when the fallout finally comes, it blindsides everyone, especially the person who thought the relationship was solid. And based on her body language in that hotel scene, she did not see this coming. Not even a little. You can literally watch the moment confusion starts creeping into her face. The energy mismatch becomes impossible to ignore. She leans in emotionally, he pulls back just enough to create space. That's when fans knew something wasn't right. But here's the part TLC really kept tight in the edit. In the preview clips for the next episode, the ones casual viewers sometimes skip, there's a split-second confessional where Daniel says, "I just need time to process everything." Now normally, that wouldn't set off alarm bells. But in the 90-day universe, that sentence has ended more relationships than the visa deadline itself. And the fandom knows it. Reddit threads exploded overnight, with viewers digging through old interviews, past social media posts, even body language from earlier episodes trying to pinpoint exactly when Daniel's energy first shifted. Some fans think it started weeks earlier. Others are convinced the hotel moment was the true breaking point. But almost everyone agrees on one thing. That room changed everything. Because after that night, nothing between them felt as certain. Not the smiles. Not the reassurances, not even the future plans they kept talking about. You could feel the doubt sitting quietly under every conversation. And if you've watched enough of this franchise, you know, once that doubt shows up on camera, it rarely leaves quietly. So now the question isn't whether Daniel was overwhelmed in that hotel room. The real question is, was that the moment he finally admitted, at least to himself, that he might not be as all in as he claimed. Because if that's true, the next few episodes could get very uncomfortable. And honestly, the fandom is already bracing for impact. So tell me what you think. Did Daniel just hit emotional overload, or did we just witness the beginning of the end for this couple? Eyes.